supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all.
I was her, she was me. We were one, we were free. And if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. We were young, we were wrong, we were fine all along. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. When you get to where you wanna go, and you know the things you wanna know, yeah. Smiling. When you said what you wanna say, and you know the way you wanna play, you'll be so high, you'll be flying. Though the sea will be strong, I know we'll carry on. 'Cause if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. When you get to where you wanna go, and you know the things you wanna know, yeah. Smiling. When you said what you wanna say, and you know the way you wanna say it, you'll be so high, you'll be flying. I was her, she was me. We were one, we were free. And if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. Yeah, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. She's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. She's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. She's the one. said when you died you'd walk with me every day. And I start to cry and say, please don't talk that way.
I'm coming up, so you better get this fucking party started. Yep, we're on it, Dawn. Can't you just hear her bossing us around to get on with it, not drag it out? And the colourful language would be abounding. Well, hang in there, Dawn. This is not just about you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate the colourful lives of Dawn and Paul Harper. Soulmates who were so close in life, they chose to remain so in death. They left us this message: death is an inevitable fate. Someday we all have to go. We hope we did our best in life, but how are we to know? It's not the model of your car or brand of clothes you wear. It's not some fancy famous name sewn in your underwear. It's not the square footage of your house or what you keep inside. There's no material you possess that proves your success in life. It's everything you sacrifice and choices that you made. It's all the problems that you solved, life's lessons you would not trade. It's bad times when you persevered. It's all the fun you've had. It's any time you've ever laughed and every choice, good or bad. It's any time that you've been proud of all that you could do. It's every song you turned up loud and every friend you knew. It's anyone you've ever loved who now knows not to stress. If you've lived your life wild and free, then it's been a great success. And Dawn and Paul's really lived their lives as a great success. So today we're going to journey through their lives, their separate lives before they met, and then the nigh on 50 years they spent together as best friends, lovers, and soulmates. On behalf of their son Jason and his wife Cherie, daughter Tennille and her husband Adam, and grandchildren Summer, Saxon, Amber, and Jasper, I welcome you all here and thank you for coming today and for your outpouring of love and support since Dawn and Paul passed. The fun stories and the laughter that has been shared in this last week has made an incredibly difficult time more bearable. I also welcome all those people that are watching online this afternoon, having been unable to join us in the chapel. Today we want to laugh. We want to share wonderful memories of the lives and personalities that were Dawn and Paul. Beautiful people who were so caring, fun, loving, strong, forthright, determined, socially aware, who had so much goodwill towards others and who were devoted to their family. At the conclusion of the service, we ask that you would remain and write messages on the caskets. There will be pens in the foyer. Dawn and Paul will be there for you to write your message or even just your name, maybe a memory that you'd like to go with them. And then after that, you are warmly invited to meet at the Greens in Kui to enjoy light refreshments, to tell your stories and have a laugh, and most importantly, to cherish the memories. Over the past week, we have all had to come to terms with losing not one, but two amazing people. And it is inevitable that you feel grief and pain today. You may feel angry that Dawn's life ended so suddenly and that Paul, after battling cancer for 2 years, chose to go with her, knowing that he could not live without her. Our emotions need to run their course. You may feel that the loss of Dawn and Paul is impossible to put into words, or even perhaps to accept. It may seem impossible to find the appropriate words to say to their family, even to say to each other. There are no words that can do justice to such a profound loss. The hardest but most rewarding part of being human is to love. We experience great joy and fulfillment in love, but also intense grief when we lose those for whom we felt that love. But our grief is not a burden to be hidden. It is not a weakness to be ashamed of. It is the deepest proof that love existed, that something beautiful once touched our lives. So let yourself feel it. Let yourself mourn. Let yourself remember. Okay, I can hear Dawn saying, "Get the fuck on with it." So here we go. We'll start with her, and it'll be see you next Tuesday. Born in the Old Burney Hospital on the 29th of August 1958, Dawn was the second youngest of 6 children born to Myrtle and Hedley Riley. 4 elder brothers, Gary, deceased, Brock, Kerry and Michael, came before Dawn, and then 6 years later came sister Natalie, born on exactly the same day as Dawn. So she has never been allowed to forget that she fucked up the first birthday party I ever had, as Mum went into labour and raced off to hospital and came home with a baby. The family lived in Montello, and both Myrtle and Hedley worked at the paper mill. Dawn attended Montello Primary and later Parklands High School. Well, I use the word attended very loosely because she hated school and would wag off at every occasion possible. Caught smoking on her way to school, primary school that is, she was always flaunting the rules, and she was actually the cause of a young lad falling out of a tree and breaking his arm as she flashed her tits at him. Oh my God. Dawn was never going to be someone who would be kept down. I wasn't brought onto this earth to be told what to do by anyone, she would say loudly and often. Yes, she was rebellious, and yes, she was tough, sparring with her brothers who were all Golden Gloves boxers. Dawn had no fear and no falseness. She said it how she saw it. No filter, just whatever came out of her mouth. She would tell you what you didn't want to hear. She loved to hitchhike. One time, hitching to Devonport with her friend, they were picked up by a priest who proceeded to preach all the way. You can imagine what reaction that incurred from Dawn. And there was another time Dawn and a friend were hitching a ride to Boat Harper with some blokes that they knew, when the conversation turned to, no route, no ride. Well, pull the fuck over, we'll walk then. And they did. In all of this, life was challenging health-wise. Asthma, eczema, and later psoriasis all plagued her. But while fishing off the Burney Wharf as a 15-year-old, Dawn was very badly sunburnt and spent weeks in hospital being treated for third-degree burns. Here, she met a dashing young man who was to play an incredibly important role in her life. But hold that thought, because we're going to take a moment to enjoy some photographs that depict Dawn's early life. And she had chosen Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You to accompany these.
Should stay, I would only be in your way, so I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. Will always love you. You, my darling, you.
bittersweet memories. That is all I'm taking with me. So goodbye. Please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need. And I will always love you. I will always love life treats you kind, and I hope you have all you dreamed of, and I wish you joy and happiness, but above all this I wish you love. Darling, I love you. Ooh, I'll always love
Such beautiful, beautiful memories. So, where did we leave off? Back to where we were. Well, this hospital attendant that nursed Dawn through her burns was one Paul James Harper. Paul had been born in Hobart on the 16th of June 1952, the third of 4 children born to Jock and Joan Harper. At birth, Paul had not been wrapped straight away and his muscles hardened. Surgery resulted in the inability for him to sit on the floor and cross his legs, which meant he'd tumble around like a babushka doll. And that became his party trick for many, many years. As a youngster, he also suffered convulsions where there was a fear he would swallow his tongue, but he eventually grew out of this. Jock was a carpenter, and the family followed his work. Time with the Fingal Council, Queenstown Council, and in Gormanston saw Paul and his siblings Suzanne, Roger, deceased, and Nigel attend school on the West Coast. Sadly, the family lost everything they owned when their house in Gormy burnt down, and the decision was made to move to Burnie. Paul attended Burnie High School. Like Dawn, he didn't really like school as he was dyslexic, and back then there was no differentiation in teaching styles to accommodate him as a learner. Much preferring to be in or on the water, days surfing and cruising with the alcohol and the weed, and really being a bit of a ratbag, he left school mid-grade 9, earned some money with 3 paper rounds, and generally enjoyed life. Robbing a bottle shop with his brothers in his early days, the grog was stashed out in South Burnie. But when they went back to retrieve it, it had gone. Bloody hell, they'd been robbed. Pissed off. Jobs were found. One of them was truck driving out Mount Lyell, where Paul was too short for the sun visor in the truck, so he bought himself a white cowboy hat to keep the sun out of his eyes, and from then on was nicknamed the Milky Bar Kid. Later, working on a Garbo truck as a runner, $5 worth of dim sims were the daily luxury for tea. At 25 cents a dim sim, that's a truckload of dim sims, and he always refused to share them. This was followed by some time at the pulp, and later he secured the position as a hospital attendant. And so the story comes together. But let's pause again and enjoy some pics of this cheesecloth-clad surfer boy before the real story starts. Paul chose one of his favourite songs, AC/DC's It's a Long Way to the Top. What a load of fun was in there. So, back to the story. This young, sunburnt lass is admitted into the Burnie Hospital, being treated for third-degree burns. This long-haired surf rat nurses her. Dawn is 15, Paul is 21. They hit it off, and after weeks of treatment, Paul offered to take her home, where he meets her family. After preening himself in the mirror, I might add. He was such a good-looking rooster in those days. And then it seemed that everywhere that Dawn went, Paul seemed to appear. It wasn't long before they moved in together into a unit in Mount Street, Upper Burnie. Dawn started working at the pulp and Paul continued his work at the hospital. And so began the nearly 50-year love affair. Marrying at St George's Anglican Church in Burnie on the 18th of October 1975, these two young lovers were truly meant to be together. Starting their family with Jason in 1977 and later Tennille in 1980, Paul gave up some of his vices, the weed and the alcohol, as he took seriously the role of husband and father. Living in Ogden Street and later Colgrave Road, they worked hard providing for not just their own, but every other lost soul who might need a feed or a roof over their head. Generous to a fault, Dawn and Paul helped so many people over many, many years, never turning their back on anyone in need. Not even the German shepherd we saw, Bundy, that turned up every day for a feed and who after some time they adopted and gave a safe and loving home. At one time, Paul worked in the local ice cream truck, but he didn't make any money. Why, you might ask? Because he'd feel sorry for the kids and he'd give the ice creams away. He volunteered for Camp Quality as a support worker, exuding care and kindness at every turn. While Jason and Tennille attended Montello Primary School, both Dawn and Paul were frequent faces around the school, helping out in any way possible. Paul painting murals and Dawn helping as a cleaner and in the canteen. Both had huge work ethics and were highly respected for their enthusiasm and attention to detail in everything they did. Not afraid of work, Dawn worked split shifts at the top of the town, cleaning in the morning and waitressing in the evening. She also ran the fun zone, where she really looked out for the kids, putting money in the machines for them and often feeding them for free, happily knowing that the kids were safe and off the street. The same was to be said for their home in Colgrave Road. It was like a halfway house for kids, always happy and being looked after, always welcomed to stay for tea, though most often the meat and 3 veg menu that was dished, the kids would hastily decline and go home. It was always meat and 3 veg in Colgrave Road, Monday to Friday. Always a happy and safe place. Paul was known as the turbo chook at the hospital, always flat out, doing the work of 6 men and always relied upon if something big needed doing. Jason and Tennille were given their freedom, and Dawn never hesitated at any time of the night to pick them up, get them and their friends home and give them a feed. When Jason took up surfing, Paul took it up again too, loving the trips to Marrawar and becoming one of the boys with Jason and his mates. He taught all of Jason's mates to drive along the long Marrawar beach, always so generous with his time. The hippie lifestyle mentioned earlier ceased. 47 years without alcohol and cold turkey off the weed, both at Dawn's insistence, showed just how much he loved her. Showering her with flowers, he was a real romantic at heart. Spontaneous every step of the way, they would head off for weekends or holidays at the drop of a hat, always enjoying every opportunity that arose. Known for the quick trips to McDonald's in Launceston, in the days before there was one in Burnie, and the spur of the moment, let's go to Hobart, often to find out there was no accommodation and they would simply get back in the car, turn around and come back. There was lots of travel over the years, and we've seen some of that in the photos, all around Australia, to Thailand, and there were several cruises. Always making the most fun possible, they enjoyed a ping pong show in Thailand and sightseeing in a brothel in Kalgoorlie. The odd sex shop was often visited as well, just to see what was in there and what they were used for, and the laughs always came thick and fast. Dawn kept the cupboards stocked. I bet you don't know anyone that had 790 rolls of toilet paper even before COVID. Never wiping my fucking ass on newspaper again. The house was meticulously clean. I've never heard of anyone polishing the toilet floor with Mr. Sheen, but hey, she did. I think she was a little OCD in keeping her home spotless. She was a collector of Betty Boop dolls, while Paul collected model cars and double duplicate coins. They loved the cricket, especially the one-day games, and had fabulous taste in music. And life was good. Paul retired in 2018 and Dawn in 2020, having spent some time as a cleaner at Umina Park before some time at the Wynyard Airport. Her health deteriorated due to several conditions she suffered with. She was no longer as active as she once was. They decided to downsize and move to their beautiful unit on Morville Road in 2021. These two were just incredibly good people. Paul's diagnosis in 2023 didn't get him down. His positive outlook, no matter what happens, there's always someone worse off than you, always kept him buoyant. And his funny way with words like, hey Doodle, instead of hey Google, and the dildos in Tennille's house that needed painting. He really meant the dados, but hey, it was just another word. His misuse of words always kept those around him smiling. Paul's health continued to decline, and as no further treatments were available, discussions centring on voluntary assisted dying were had, and both knew they never wanted to be apart. When Dawn lost the fight at 4:55 a.m. last Tuesday, Paul knew it was time. He gathered his family and friends around him, said his final goodbyes, and with a wink and a thumbs up, he went to join her at 4:55 p.m. 2 days later. There was sadness in the room, but all knew they had witnessed something absolutely beautiful, something incredibly special that would keep Paul and Dawn united forever. I am so honoured to have been able to share their story with you. May their souls be forever at peace. And now, the last set of photographs that show us the love between this perfect match. Three of their favourite songs have been chosen for these: Helen Reddy's Delta Dawn, Robbie Williams' Angels, and Tina Turner, Simply the Best.
What's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? She's 41 and her daddy still calls her baby. All the folks round Brownsville say she's crazy, 'cause she walks downtown with a suitcase in her hand, looking for a mysterious dark-haired man. In her younger days they called her Delta Dawn, prettiest woman with her laid eyes on. He'd take her for his bride. Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? What's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was meeting you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky? Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from...
I sit and wait. There's an angel contemplate my fate. Do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I have been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel that love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it, oh, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong, and down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me. When I come to call, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. When I'm feeling weak and my pain walks down a one-way street, flesh to my bones. Oh, when love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it, oh, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection. Whether I'm right or wrong, and down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. Forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. Come to me wild and wild.
Rock it out, babe.
They definitely were simply the best. They definitely were. Some tributes have come in this afternoon that I'd like to share two of them with you. The first is from long-time friends Neil, Adele, Shannon and Lee, who can't be with us today. And they have written, "It's hard to put into words what Dawn and Paul meant to us. For over 50 years, they weren't just friends, they were family. From our early days as young adults figuring out life through to raising kids together, our friendship was a constant. Dawn and Snack were unapologetically themselves. Despite time and distance, our connection never faded. Whether we saw each other often or not, we always picked up exactly where we left off. This kind of friendship is rare. We are thankful to have had them in our lives. Paul's care for others, his artwork to his passion for mowing his lawn, a precise art that left many envious. They lived life their way, full of humour and heart, right through to their last dance. Our hearts are broken. The final fight for Paul, the constant rock that Dawn provided him. Yet we find comfort in knowing that they left this life the way they lived it, together. With all our love, Neil, Adele, Shannon, Leah and families. And from Debbie and David Lowry. Paul and Dawn, you were the best neighbours that anyone could ever wish for over 30 years. Our friendship will always be treasured. We had some laughs and some good memories, even the times Paul would come out and tell Ashley to keep his noise down. I'm trying to fucking sleep. Where are you, Debbie? Ashley would say, "It's the middle of the day, mate," and Paul would say, "Just keep it down." Ashley would say, "Okay," but kept on doing what he was doing. But it all worked out fine because they were really good mates. And we're going to miss you both. It'll never be the same again. Never forgotten, Debbie and David. Jason and Tennille have both constructed tributes as well, and I invite Jason to come forward first.
Thanks, Wow. Thanks very much for everyone that's attended today. I'd like to start with thanking and acknowledging everyone that's here. It's clear that Mum and Dad touched the lives of many people. I'd like to share with you all some of the memories of Mum and Dad and to give you a bit of perspective on how big their hearts were. Let me start with my one-of-a-kind mum. Most would know her as Dawny. From a young age, Mum taught me discipline and routine. And out of that discipline came manners, respect, sharing and caring. Because I was a slow learner, I learnt the hard way. But one way or another, she managed to engrave these values into me, shaping me to be the man I am today. Those who knew Mum knew that she had no filter, blurted out her thoughts without thinking and said it how it was, whether you wanted to hear it or not. From this, I learnt to call a spade a spade. This led to a few standoffs with my mum. And because I inherited Mum's stubbornness, and in my younger years I wore the imprints of the rings Mum wore on every finger more times than I care to count. Reflecting on this many years later, I now understand how valuable these lessons on life really were. No matter how hard the discipline was, there was just as much love, affection and conversations to drive these values home. Mum was the most generous person I've ever known. She would give her last dollar to a complete stranger if she thought it was the right thing to do. She always put Tennille and I first, and no matter what the circumstances were, we never went without and were given the best of everything. As a teenager, I had a very busy schedule with sport commitments. Mum spent endless days and nights travelling the state to get me to training, games and tournaments. I realise now just how much she sacrificed to allow me to pursue these opportunities. She would not allow me to miss out on anything I wanted to participate in or follow my dreams. Now, Mum had a devilish side to her. And in my teenage years, she introduced me to some of her guilty pleasures, such as drinking and smoking, swearing, and going out to nightclubs with her. She was a firm believer on allowing anything to happen under our roof if it was under her watch and she could be a part of the fun. This led to our place in Coalgrave Road becoming the halfway house to all my friends, and my word, did we get up to some shit. Mum was a part of all my fondest memories of growing up, and she was always there supporting the role or to lead me astray. Mum was also a beautiful cook. Her golden syrup dumplings were my favourite. And I definitely inherited the love for cooking from her. I'd like to share a few words about my legend of a dad. Dad was caring, affectionate, big-hearted, funny, adventurous, extremely hard-working. The turbo chook never stopped. He set out to teach me everything he knew and involved himself with everything I did. Dad was a perfectionist. He took the time to make sure everything was done properly, and his attention to detail was next level. Gardening was Dad's outlet and daily wind-down activity. Our lawn was always ready for a magazine shoot. I once bet I made $100 to try and find a weed in that lawn. He lost. Dad was a very proud man. He was so proud of his beloved wife, us kids, our home, and was very old school in ensuring that he supported our family at all times. Dad was a visionary. And when he lost his job at the pulp, Dad decided to get 10 10-yarder loads of discarded red house bricks delivered to the house. He broke every single brick by hand and spread it in our gardens as decorative rock, selling the remaining to make a bit extra cash for the family during tough times. I know a lot in this room would hard to fucking remember that. I didn't think that rock was ever going. Dad always provided for us, and his work ethic was unmatched. Days on end I watched and learnt from him, and these traits are now embedded in me. I know that there were many personal struggles for Dad during my early childhood. But he was resilient, pushing through, and to ensure there was better times ahead for our family. Dad had a love for the ocean and was drawn to it his whole life. Whether it was diving, surfing, fishing or boating, he always wanted to be in it, on it or around it. Some of the fondest teenage memories were our surfing adventures. Dad would drive me and my mates anywhere in the state at any time to catch a good wave. These trips were epic. Once I got a bit more adventurous in me surfing, I decided to buy myself a gaff, which is a surfing helmet. When I showed Dad, Dad thought this was a great idea. I want one too. Not to protect his head though, he wanted to keep his bloody ears warm. Fishing trips were Dad's favourite. Dad's wacky sense of humour was contagious, and God, we had some laughs on those trips. Fishing trips were Dad's favourites, and I lost count how many times Dad got caught holding a fishing rod, having a smoke, having a piss, and then catching a fish. Multitasking at its best, you'd say. Dad and his trusty companion Bundy had many solo fishing adventures, but as soon as they got home, Dad would ring me and report back to me on the funny stuff like Bundy eating fish straight off the hooks. The experiences that Mum and Dad gave us as kids gave me itchy feet and the desire to travel and explore. Our family travel experiences were a lot of the time on the spur of the moment with no set plan or destination, which made it even more enjoyable. This has rubbed off on me and I now love to wing it on my own travel adventures. Once I met my wife Cherie, Mum and Dad immediately treated her like one of their own. We gave them their first grandchild summer and they were totally chuffed to become grandparents. All of the grandkids were super spoilt and loved by Nan and Pop, and Mum carried around a brag book to show all her friends her beautiful grandchildren. Christmas and Easter with Mum and Dad. Now that was next level. Requiring a trailer to get all the presents home. It was Mum's favourite time of the year, and poor Dad spent days on end setting up Mum's Christmas decorations. I can report at one point there were 21 massive tubs of decorations to be set up and packed up every year. Mum and Dad loved their sweet treats. The house was always stocked with lollies and chocolates. When I was a kid, Mum gave me a bag of lollies and said, go outside and share them with the rest of the kids. Greedy me decided that I might just sneakily start eating these lollies on my own. Well, Mum found out. My God, did I get a flogging. And apparently the first lesson on sharing was complete. I would always get the blame for gutsing into the lollies in the cupboard. It wasn't until years later Dad owned up to it. Mum's Easter chocolates would sometimes last until the next Easter. There were just so bloody many of them. Mum would always have a bag of mints in the cupboard, the car, the handbag, and would always send us on our way with a bag of mints and a can of Coke for the trip home. I just want to finish off by mentioning the care, compassion and generosity that Mum and Dad had for others. Always there to lend a hand, listen, give advice and cheer you up. They put their life on hold so many times to help others in their time of need, so selfless and so giving. Their family and friends meant the world to them, and that is evident by the amount of people that is here today. Over the last week and a half, the amount of stories and laughs that have been shared by family and friends supporting us through this difficult time have been a good reflection on how they live their lives. Mum with a no fucks given attitude and Dad's quick-witted humour will always be remembered. Rest in peace, Mum and Dad, forever together. Thank you.
Well done, Jason. Beautiful tribute to your parents. To Neil.
I hope you all like my outfit just as much as Mum would have today. It's quite out there, but anyway. Hi everyone, my name is Bub. Well, that's what I was known to Mum and Dad. That's what they always called me. To everyone else, I'm Tennille or Nels. Let's just get one thing straight. This isn't a sad story. It's a love story like no other. Everything about this love story was their way, on their terms, right until the bittersweet end. Okay, everyone, where's my present and what the fuck did you buy me? That's what Mum would say every time someone turned up at a house. Adam and the boys will often tease me and say, look out, Mum's about to have a ginger snap. No, not my mum, Dawny. She was the firecracker. She yelled, you fucking ran. No filters, subtle as a sledgehammer, and called a spade a spade. I would often say to her, Mum, you can't say that. You can think it, but don't say it. Fuck off, if they don't like it, they can leave. At the ripe old age of 40, she decided it was time to be naughty and tried weed for the first time. She was so stoned, but she was so embarrassed that she was so stoned, she was too scared to laugh because she didn't want anyone to know how stoned she was. I would often tell her, you're just like a rebellious teenager, do whatever you want. But outside the tough guy attitude was this loving, caring woman who would do anything for anyone. Mum would give you her last $5 and the shirt off her back. People often say to me, your house is immaculate and never a thing out of place. This is solemnly due to my mum's influence. She believed in everything had a place and to be prepared for anyone to turn up at the door. So never have a mess and never have dishes in the sink. And always pack an extra pair of underpants when you go on holidays. Because she used to wet them. She taught me to stand up for myself. She taught me to stand up for myself, to be honest, and to always tell the truth as it will always come out. To be that friend that people could come to when they wanted the truth, whether they wanted to hear it or not. Dawny's philosophy was, if you had a roof over your head, and food in your cupboard, then everything else would come later. And boy, did she teach me to cook. Adam often jokes that I'm preparing for Armageddon, just as Mum taught me, one open and the spare one ready to go. But when it come to toilet rolls and coffee, that was an exception. 7 cans of Nescafe coffee was the last count in Mum and Dad's pantry. I can hear her say, Paul, such and such wants a coffee, which leads me to Dad. My dad, what a true gentleman and romantic. Not a birthday, Mother's Day, or Valentine's Day passed where Dad did not buy Mum flowers or diamonds. Hint, hint. It was nothing for a song to come on the radio and Mum and Dad would start dancing around the lounge room. His care and devoting nature could have been perceived as him doing what he was told, but the truth was he wouldn't have it any other way. He worshipped the ground that she walked on. Dad was always a good listener and wore his heart on his sleeve. Heart on his sleeve. But believed laughter was the best medicine, and oh my God, was his laugh infectious. To the point where he would laugh so much, his teeth would nearly jump out his mouth. Dad would get so excited telling a funny story that he could barely get the story out and often losing people in his hysterics, and then the audience was laughing at him because he was just so funny. Dad was a go-getter, always on the move, ants in his pants, ensuring our home was always immaculate and looking its best. This was highlighted when Mum and Dad got their new guttering fitted to Coalgrave Road. And the delivery driver asked, "Can I put it on the carpet, known as the lawn?" I may have been Daddy's little princess, but in reality, he raised a strong, independent woman, unlike my mother. I was taught how to mow lawns, how to paint, how to use all power tools, hang a picture on the wall, as Mum was useless at this shit. Dad's love of the gardening was a trait I inherited, a green finger like him. I once advised Mum that she was never a gardener and nor should she start, as I caught her picking all the new purple leaves off the rose bushes because she thought they were dead. Dad wanted to be a nurse. His love of caring for people was unmatched, and while he did not quite become a nurse, he cared for others, and his care for Mum was like no other. Mum and Dad were the ultimate team, good cop, bad cop, Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes I wondered, how did they make this work? But what I later learned was that their love for each other was unconditional. Marriage isn't a bed of roses, it's a compromise, Mum would say. So much so that that's why we're all here today, celebrating their love story. On Mum and Dad's 25th wedding anniversary, Dad surprised Mum with a limousine, complete with champagne and strawberries to show her she was his queen and only deserved the best. Nothing was ever going to change his love for her, and he wanted the world to know it. Mum and Dad made it well known to everyone how extremely proud they were of Jason and I. They encouraged us, supported us, and stood by our decisions, good or bad. Ultimately, however, their grandchildren were the apple of their eyes. Mum and Dad were down the line to the cent on what they spent on their grandchildren at any given time. Mum would often say, "Stop being so hard on them." What a short memory she had. Dad was the king of the kids, often spending hours on the floor playing with them when they were young, nothing ever a bother. Mum even had a Brad book that took pride of place in her handbag to show her friends at any given opportunity. As much as they loved their family, they cherished their friends too. To all of you that are here, to all of you that have been there for Mum and Dad over the years, I thank you. You not only touched their lives, but you became a part of their exceptional story. Finally, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to everyone for the messages, calls, food, flowers, and most of all, for your presence and support during this extraordinary couple of weeks. I would also like to say a big thank you to the people that went above and beyond in the last few weeks caring for Mum and Dad, including Rachel Barry, Sarah Cubank, the palliative care team, Rapid Response, the VAD team, Professor Rob Fassett and the Ambulance Tasmania Service. Your compassion and dedication means more than words could ever say. Thank you. Rest in peace.
Well done, Tanil. Now, as the family place flowers and say their quiet goodbyes, I invite you to reflect on the place that Dawn and Paul had in your lives and those memories that you're going to cherish forever.
would dance on the floor in the round. She said, I am the one who would dance on the floor in the round. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she crossed the scene. Then heavy hair turned with the eyes to dream of being the one who would dance on the floor in the round.
Pope Francis once said, "Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult life is. Life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you." From all that we've heard today, I cannot help but feel that Pope Francis was talking about Dawn and Paul when he said those words. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to send them on their final journey. Would you please stand? Imagine each saying to the other, "I wouldn't stay without you, couldn't bear to be apart. We shared so much together, we shared a beating heart. Lover, partner, best friend, the true light of my life. So fortunate to find you and be as man and wife. We were a two-piece jigsaw, a real perfect fit. Whatever gave us trouble, we'd both face up to it. A stronger bond you'd never find, joined from head to toe. Couldn't be without you, couldn't cope to see you go. So our loved ones now will miss us, and tears have passed, no doubt. But we hope it gives them comfort now, for now we're not without. Back together as they always knew, that's what we really asked for. Two pieces always fitted to complete the whole jigsaw." Dawn and Paul, as we share this moment together, it is with love and unity that we acknowledge what you brought to each of the lives here, and therefore what is now missing by your physical absence. There can be no doubt that there have been many tears shed and many hearts broken, but we also know that an energy as beautiful and vibrant as yours cannot help but remain in the hearts of all those who love you. And it will be this that drives us on until the time comes for us to meet again. Until that day, your ability to shine in the darkest of moments shall continue to light our way as we laugh, love, and live with every ounce of our being in your memory. The energy of your life we promise to embrace as we simply say thank you and farewell. And so it is with love and gratitude that we now commit all these fond memories to be locked away in our hearts as we gently yield your body to be cremated. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Dawn and Paul, we celebrate you, we honour you, but most of all we pay tribute to that consistent love and sense of fun that you always shared so willingly with your family and your friends. We will never forget you. We give thanks for your lives and for your love, your friendship, and the memories. We now say farewell and may you rest in peace. Thank you. Thank you for the good times. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your love and laughter. Thank you for everything you taught us. You will live on in the hearts of everyone you touched and nurtured while you were on this earth. So go now knowing that you are loved beyond measure, that you will be missed more than words can say, that you will be remembered and cherished, and that love will never end. We will hold you close within us, and there you will remain, to be with us throughout our lives until we meet again. Go safely, go with love in your heart, and may you be forever at peace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget to write on the caskets before you head out to the greens. Thank you.
Yeah.